So we've been given f of x, and we've been told what f of x is equal to. And now we've been asked for what is the real solution. We're told there's one real solution. Well, solution is the 0. It is where this function equals 0. So we can see from our graph that that's 3. So the one real solution is x equals 3. It says write f of x as the product or multiplication of a linear and a quadratic factor. Well, I know that my linear factor is x minus 3 because 3 is that 0. And I'm going to multiply that by some quadratic factor that I don't know, and my answer will equal that f of x that was given and drawn. The only way to find that quadratic factor is to divide. We're essentially dividing both sides by x minus 3. And that will give us our answer. So we'll set up this division. X cubed minus 2x squared minus x minus 6 divided by x minus 3, and we'll use the box method. I'm going to start the box method, and then I'm going to skip to the end of the answer because I know you guys can all do it probably at this point. This first box will get x squared, then I'll have negative 3x squared. As a reminder, negative 3x squared, and whatever goes in this next box is a like term with negative 2x squared. Well, that must mean this is a positive 1x squared. So this would be positive 1x. Finishing up, negative 6 plus nothing, or 0, would give me the negative 6 that I have at the end. So I have a problem with no remainder, which is good, because we were looking for the exact factor. The exact factor is what you see here. X squared plus x plus 2. So now we've accomplished part B. These are the linear and quadratic factors that multiply to make f of x. Now we need to find all imaginary solutions. Well, the reason we know there's imaginary solutions is there's only one x-intercept cross, so the other ones aren't going to show up, which also means that x squared plus x plus 2 is not going to factor. But I could use the quadratic formula. Opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. This will give us real and imaginary solutions. So after we set it up, we get this with all of our coefficients plugged in, and simplified one more step. We have the square root of 1 minus 8 all over 2. Well, that's going to be negative 1 plus or minus negative 7 over 2. All we can do there is turn this negative 7 into the square root of 7 times I. So our final answer is negative 1 plus or minus I times the square root of 7 all over 2. Notice there's two answers here because of the plus or minus. What are the two answers? Well, I'd have negative 1 plus I times the square root of 7 over 2 and negative 1 minus I times the square root of 7 over 2. Those are the imaginary solutions that don't show up in the real number graph.